Good morning. This is another response to Thunderfoot. This is my last attempt at this, but I'm going to give it one more shot. I've just been looking at your video there called something like "Your Mother's a Whore." Not that there's anything wrong with being a whore, but let's start from that point. And again, you're in this position, Thunderfoot, where you're concerned about your profile on YouTube. You're concerned about the fact that YouTube has changed. It's a very competitive marketplace now, a marketplace of ideas. You feel it's a marketplace of ideas in which rational arguments and rational ideas and ideas of atheism and secularism are either failing or losing out or have lost their impetus, lost their focus, those kind of things, particularly in relation to Islam from your perspective, and in which you yourself feel possibly undervalued. And maybe you are, I don't know, maybe you are. I've said this before, but I'm going to say it again, because I do hope you can find time in your busy schedule to respond to me if you can, Thunderfoot, by PM or comment or video response in public if you feel like it. If you talk to me privately, it won't go any further, I assure you. But, you are uniquely placed. I've said this before, but I'm going to say it again. You are relatively uniquely placed in the atheist community to front a different kind of channel. I think you're absolutely right, what you say about YouTube. I think there's some good observations there about the way the ecology of this site has changed. And I think you have to change with it, quite frankly. I mean, one of the reasons why you're getting flack isn't just because, you're perceived to be, I don't know, taking sides or perceived to be perhaps overstating certain claims. It isn't to do with that. It's to do, I think at least, it's to do with the fact that the climate has changed. It's to do with the fact that the climate has changed and you haven't changed with it. You're still doing quite a personal, ego-based channel, and I'm not saying you're using ego in a detrimental sense. I'm using it in a sense that you are very clearly fronting it from your, your personality, your identity is very central to it. You're trying to do that, and you're trying to scale that, and it just doesn't scale. It's just not scaling. You can kind of scale it if you're doing what people like The Amazing Atheist does, which is again, no offense meant to you, TJ, it's basically entertainment. But doing what you do, Thunderfoot, you can't. It doesn't scale like that. You can't scale rationalism in quite the same way. And so I would ask you once again to think about changing your channel to include other people, to include other voices, to include hosted videos made by other people, to perhaps offering competitions. I've made a bunch of videos about this, which I'll put links to in the description box. It would be a useful thing to do, and that would gain a lot of respect. I mean, there's quite a lot of people on here with PhDs like yourself. I mean, I'm a PhD, and there's quite a few around us who are involved in the university sector in some way, or involved in education, as well as doing all the other things that we do here. And I'd like to see something like that going on here. And as I say, I think you're relatively uniquely placed to be able to do that. And sure, yeah, some people are going to hate what you do, but they'll hate what you do a lot less if you stand aside a wee bit. Take yourself out of the frame a little bit. Let some other voices occupy the space. Anyway, that's all I've got to say. Thank you very much. My last attempt. Goodbye.